Good morning and welcome to the AM News here on Global Television. I'm Muya Agumofwegbe, and these are the stories we're following for you this morning. President Bola Tinubu on Sunday afternoon returned to Abuja from Lagos 13 days after he left to attend the summit on new global financing pact in Paris, the capital of France. The president had left Abuja on June 20 to participate in the summit that held in the French capital, from where he left for London on a private visit. Upon his return to Nigeria, he went straight to Lagos on Tuesday, June 27, to observe the Eid-Kabir festival in his home at Ikoyi. While away from Abuja, President Tinubu had participated in the new global financing pact signing in Paris. He also held various other diplomatic meetings on the sidelines of the main event. While in France, he met with the French President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée, the Swiss President Alain Berset at the Palais Brongniart, President of Benin Republic Patrice Talon, Director General of World Trade Organization Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, President of the African Development Bank AFDB Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. In the meantime, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while in Lagos, had played host to his Republic of Guinea-Bissau counterpart, President Umaro Sissoco Embalo. Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communications and Strategy, Dele Alake, made this known to State House correspondents following President Mbalo's visit to Tinubu at his Ikoyi, Lagos residence. In a statement signed by Abiodun Oladunjoye, the Director of Information in the Office of the President at the State House, Alake told reporters that while the visit was of private nature, President Mbalo took the opportunity to express his solidarity and willingness to cooperate with Nigeria under the leadership of President Tinubu.
The President of Guinea-Bissau came to visit the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but it was strictly a private visit. It wasn't anything official at all. It was a private visit, and we had to be on hand to receive him. And our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, received him very warmly. And the President of Guinea-Bissau himself exuded some enthusiasm and warmth, which is uncharacteristic, or untypical of what we saw in the past. He was very forthcoming, he was very expressive. He expressed his solidarity with the President of Nigeria and his readiness to cooperate with Nigeria at all times and with our current President. And he commended the laudable and policy initiatives of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last 1 month. And he said that everybody in the world, in the international community, have been commending his giant strides. So he came to pay his solidarity and to pay courtesy call, as it were, and to bond with him as a brother African head of state in the first instance, and in particular as a brother West African ECOWAS head of state, in general. And they also spoke about the forthcoming ECOWAS meeting, which is very imminent, and spoke on other areas of cooperation. But generally speaking, it was a very strictly private visit.
Dele Alake further stated that the visit is a pointer to what is to be expected in the relations between Nigeria and Guinea-Bissau. Let's turn to other stories now. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has assured that the 10th National Assembly would strive to positively address issues on climate change. Kalu said this in a statement in commemoration of the 2023 International Day of the Parliament. The Deputy Speaker stated that the International Day of the Parliament was a global issue introduced in 2018 by the United Nations General Assembly resolution. He explained that climate change was negatively affecting lives and having adverse impact on peace and security all over the world, noting that by adopting greener policies and embracing a culture of sustainability, parliaments can help in addressing the crisis caused by the phenomenon. He assured Nigerians and key stakeholders on climate change issues that as the parliament settles down to business, they would prioritize climate change issues. Enugu State Government has dissolved all task forces on commercial tricycles, particularly known as keke, in the state till further notice. The permanent secretary in the State Ministry of Transport, Mr. Ogbonna Idike, said this in Enugu after a meeting with the executives and members of the Commercial Tricycle Union. The meeting was conducted by the ministry on the sidelines of the peaceful protest held by some members of the Tricycle Union on Friday over harassment and extortion by Tricycle Task Force members operating within the Enugu metropolis. Idike said that the dissolution affected both legally and illegally constituted task forces for tricycle operators, adding that the action was with immediate effect as the ministry was not aware of this negative and inhuman development. He said the state government, through the ministry, will streamline and prevail on all transport union task forces to conform to best practices and standards, as well as ensure that hoodlums and thugs do not hijack such exercises. The Defense Headquarters has given top officers who are seniors to the newly appointed service chiefs till today, Monday, to voluntarily retire from service. The order, which was contained in a memo dated June 26 and signed by Major General Y. Yahaya on behalf of the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, was directed to generals, brigadiers general, air vice marshals, and rear admirals in the Nigerian Army, Air Force, and Nigerian Navy, who are senior to the new service chiefs. The retirement of the senior officers across the three services was in line with the long-standing military tradition that officers who were senior to the service chiefs would be retired. Tinubu had announced the immediate retirement of General Laki Rabo, who was the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, and Air Marshal Oludayo Amao, the Chief of Air Staff, and replaced them with new military chiefs. However, the DHQ in the memo directed all officers with seniority and commission above that of Nigerian Defense Academy Regular Course 39 to submit their applications for voluntary retirement from service with immediate effect. Spokesperson for the Nigerian Air Force Air Commander Ayodele Famuyiwa declined comment, saying he is handing over to his successor today. The Army War College, Nigeria AWCN, has witnessed a change in leadership as Major General Ishaya Buba Maina has assumed office as the commandant of the college, taking over from Major General Bamidele Ali Alabi, who has been posted to 1 Division, Nigerian Army, Kaduna, as General Officer Commanding GOC. The transition ceremony was held at the college conference room of the institution on 30 June 2023. In his farewell remarks, outgoing Commandant Major General Alabi expressed his heartfelt appreciation to the entire staff of AWCN for their unwavering support during his tenure. He acknowledged their collective efforts in elevating the college's standards and emphasized the importance of extending the same support and cooperation to the new Commandant. Major General Alabi reflected on the remarkable accomplishments achieved under his leadership and attributed them to the dedication and commitment of the college staff. He urged them to continue striving for excellence and offer their utmost support to the new commandant as he takes on the reins of the college. Away from defense and security issues now, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has rejected the curriculum minimum academic standards, also known as CCMAS, prepared by the National Universities Commission. The union says it was nightmarish and a threat to quality university education and an erosion of powers of the University Senate in the Nigerian university system. National President ASU Emmanuel Oshodoke said it was inexplicable that NUC prepackaged 70% CCMAS contents were being imposed on the Nigerian university system, adding that university senates, who are statutorily responsible for academic program development, were left to work on only 30%. Oshodoke said that there were growing concerns about the numerous shortcomings and gross inadequacies of the CCMAS documents, and although many universities were dissatisfied, they were shying away from making public comments on the matter. You're watching the AM News here on Global Television, coming to you live on Star Times Channel 276 from Nigeria's capital in Abuja. Do well to follow us across all of our social media platforms using the handle you now see on your screen at Global TV NG. And when the AM News returns, Serap urges President Tinubu to publish expenditure of 400 billion naira saved from fuel subsidy removal. We'll be back with these and more stories for you right after this break. Please don't go away. Thank you so very much for staying with us here on the AM News on Global Television. The Socio-Economic Crisis and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to urgently publish details of spending of about 400 billion naira so far saved as a result of the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirits, popularly known as petrol. It was urged by SERAP to provide details of the plans on how subsequent savings from the removal of premium subsidy would be used, including specific projects on which the funds would be spent and the mechanisms that have been put in place to ensure that any such savings are not embezzled, misappropriated, or diverted into private pockets. The federal government had reportedly saved 400 billion naira in the 4 weeks following the implementation of the policy on the removal of petrol subsidy payments. SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oludare, in a statement, said the government has a legal responsibility to ensure that the savings from the removal of subsidy on petrol are spent solely for the benefit of the 137 million poor Nigerians who are bearing the brunt of the removal, and Nigerians have the right to know how the savings are spent. The interim administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, PAP, Major General Barry Ndiomu, retired on Friday, said the Presidential Amnesty Program is sponsoring 75 pilots and aircraft engineers to South Africa and France for type rating as part of its aviation training scheme, adding that sanitary measures carried out on the PAP database revealed that certain beneficiaries and ex-agitators had multiple accounts linked to their BVNs. He said in total, 513 beneficiaries had 1,370 accounts on the payment list linked to their BVNs. In an effort to rectify these irregularities, Ndiomu said a portal was created by PAP for the affected beneficiaries to log in, and those with multiple accounts linked to their BVNs were to choose just one account in order to have their payments regularized. According to him, a total of 847 delegates are currently undergoing training in the National Information Technology Development Agency in various ICT specialized fields, where the delegates will be certified in digital marketing, email marketing, social media marketing, computer appreciation, search engine optimization, as well as technical and computer writing. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, is set to mandate telecommunication firms to attend to their customers within 30 minutes of arriving at any customer care center in the country. This is based on a new document titled Draft Quality of Service Business Rules on the Commission's website, which states that the business rules stipulates the minimum quality and standards of service, associated measurements, and key performance indicators, KPIs, for measuring quality of service. In the customer care section of the document, the telecoms regulator stated that a subscriber's waiting time to be physically attended to by relevant staff at customer care centers must not exceed 30 minutes as against what currently obtains, where customers can be kept for hours before being attended to. The Commission is also moving to ensure that subscribers can speak to a customer care representative within 5 minutes when they call a telco's helpline. Let's take it beyond Nigeria now. At least 48 people have been killed when a truck apparently lost control and plowed into other vehicles and pedestrians at a busy junction in Kayas West. It happened after a lorry carrying a shipping container lost control at Lodiani Junction near the western town of Kirochi, local media reports. Police Commander Geoffrey Mayek said 30 others were seriously injured, but added the number could be more. He also raised concerns about a few other people who could still be trapped underneath the overturned vehicle. Kenya President William Ruto said he had been distressed to hear that some of those killed were young people with a promising future and business people who were on their daily chores. He urged motorists to be extra cautious on roads, especially now that they are experiencing heavy rainfall. Last year, 34 people died in At least 2 people were killed and 28 wounded in a mass shooting early Sunday in the U.S. city of Baltimore in the state of Maryland. Police received multiple calls about the shooting just after 12:30 a.m. local time in the city's Brooklyn neighborhood in Maryland state, Acting Police Commissioner Rich Worley said during a press conference. Worley said authorities were looking to identify suspects and determine a motive for the shooting. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott said at the conference that this is an absolute tragedy that did not have to happen. With more firearms than inhabitants, the United States has the highest rate of gun deaths of any developed country, 20,200 in 2022 alone, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Falcons with winning the FIFA Women's World Cup finals, holding in Australia and New Zealand. She shared this in Abuja while hosting the team to a dinner ahead of their departure for the tournament, which starts July 20 and ends August 20. Remi Tinubu, who was represented by Dr. Betta Edu, the All Progressives Congress's women leader, said that Nigeria's appearance at the 9th FIFA Women's World Cup must be for the noble purpose of bringing the coveted cup home. Drumming support for the Super Falcons, she pointed out that football was a major unifier in the country and urged the team to work hard so as to match the expectations of Nigerians. Italian giants AC Milan have reportedly reached a verbal agreement with Nigeria international Samuel Chukwueze as they continue their pursuits of the Villarreal forward. The Rossoneri completed the signing of Ruben Loftus-Cheek from Chelsea on Friday, and according to La Gazzetta dello Sport, they are eager to add the winger to their ranks. Milan have been interested in signing the 24-year-old for a while now, but face competitions from Real Madrid, Arsenal and Aston Villa. The Yellow Submarines have set a €40 million price on Chukwueze, but are willing to listen to offers for the Nigerian, who has a year left on his running contract. However, according to La Gazzetta dello Sport, the Reds and Blacks have reached an agreement in principle with the Nigerian, with only the payment plan to be sorted out with Villarreal. And that's a full circle on the AM News on Global TV, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Don't forget to use the handle you now see on your screen at Global TV NG to follow us across all of our social media platforms. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Muyi Agumofwegbe. See you again.